what's Tati? Yeah. Tati. See what's Tati? Yeah. It's Tati. Big Chicago. You gon' love me or you hate me. Either way, you gon' be tuned in. Put the camera on the target and you know it's zoomed in. Come and sip the tea. Yeah, you know I got the news sitting pretty high up. Yeah, you know I got the views. Pretty girl with some glasses. Got a vision that's on sight though. And if you want the real tea, what Tati is the right show. What up? It's tea with Tati.
Gotta be 10 toes if an enemy cross. Ain't no flex. Really, these bars are reality checks that humility's cost. Walk in the industry, kicking the door, ripping the artillery fort with ability. You're selling my floor like we live in New York. Hey, one of my steps feel like a stomp. If this war, then I'm Genghis Khan, pillaging villages for killing a billion more. I can have your audience switching support and get ripped from your core like umbilical cords. My own demeanor is keeping it low. I don't need nothing, better leave me alone. Go home for 3 months to be in the zone, paint a Mona Lisa and get a fee when it's shown. I can have the figure of death, feeling regret when I show the freedom and releasing his soul. Nothing in the world is escaping his karma, so the reaper gotta reap what he sowed. Gotta be 10 toes if an enemy cross. Ain't no flex. Really, these bars are reality checks that humility's cost. Walk in the industry, kicking the door, ripping the artillery fort with ability. You're selling my floor like we live in New York. Hey, one of my steps feel like a stomp. If this war, then I'm Genghis Khan, pillaging villages for killing a billion more. I can have your audience switching support and get ripped from your core like umbilical cords. My own demeanor is keeping it low. I don't need nothing, better leave me alone. Go home for 3 months to be in the zone, paint a Mona Lisa and get a fee when it's shown. I can have the figure of death, feeling regret when I show the freedom and releasing his soul. Nothing in the world is escaping his karma, so the reaper gotta reap what he sowed. Gotta be 10 toes if an enemy cross. Ain't no flex. Really, these bars are reality checks that humility's cost. Walk in the industry, kicking the door, ripping the artillery fort with ability. You're selling my floor like we live in New York. Hey, one of my steps feel like a stomp. If this war, then I'm Genghis Khan, pillaging villages for killing a billion more. I can have your audience switching support and get ripped from your core like umbilical cords. My own demeanor is keeping it low. I don't need nothing, better leave me alone. Go home for 3 months to be in the zone, paint a Mona Lisa and get a fee when it's shown. I can have the figure of death, feeling regret when I show the freedom and releasing his soul. Nothing in the world is escaping his karma, so the reaper gotta reap what he sowed.
Yeah, guys. What up? See what's Tati? Okay, so y'all know this is my second interview with one of my favorites. Y'all know it's only a few of them. Y'all know who my favorites are. Y'all know him by real Sikh, okay? I know y'all know him by real Sikh. Protein Papi. That's his name. So make sure y'all dropping Protein Papi for him in the chat. Y'all can say real Sikh and all that cute stuff, but it's Protein Papi. Protein Papi, are you ready?
What's good, Tati? How are you?
That's good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. Thanks for playing that freestyle I did.
You know that. Cautious.
Yeah.
I know what it is now.
Hey,
I be trying to. So when I'm doing my interviews and things like that, I do want to promote things that y'all do outside of battle rap in case people, sometimes battle rappers, battle rap fans only focus on battle rap. Really,
right.
Y'all got more to y'all, so I try.
Yeah, right. It's dope that you found that because that was like I think that was like middle of last year or something like that. I went on like 12 weeks. I was just dropping like a freestyle every week or something. Yeah. But yeah, I got more shit with the music and shit coming up. We could get into that later. But
we will, because I got a question for you about that, matter of fact.
Sure.
So for anybody, I'm sure everybody knows you, right? But for anybody that may not know you, can you start off telling us like how you got into battle rap and things like that?
Yeah, so I started rapping when I was like 8 years old, maybe. I wrote my first rhyme around then. And I'm already from a musical culture, like Sikh culture, Punjabi culture is already very musical, right? But I grew up here, I grew up in Jersey. So I didn't really relate to stuff in my language at the time, like right away. And the shit that the music was about was You know, it was like party shit and shit like that. But I was a
Right.
kid, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then the first shit I heard was probably Shook Ones when Prodigy said, I think he said, "Rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone," right? I was 8 years old, and that was the first time like lyrics were visual to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's crazy that I remember that bar specifically because it's not like the craziest bar or nothing, but it was just out my like a distinct memory when I was a kid that I was like, oh shit, like it was visual. You know what I'm saying? So I just started listening to hip hop and got obsessed with it, and did my homework. I went back and listened to everybody I missed,
Yeah.
Pop, Big, G Rap, Tretch. I became a student of the game, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
and battling was just one of the things you had to do as a rapper. You know what I mean? Like the concept of a rapper that I got introduced to was you got to be able to do everything. You know what I mean? You got to be able to make songs, club songs, love songs. You got to rap fast, rap slow. You got to have punchlines, and part of all of that shit, freestyling, performing,
Yeah.
battling was just one of the things that you had to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so that's how I was introduced to it because I know somewhere along the way them two got separated. You know what I mean? And now there's like some people that only battle and they don't go to the studio at all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And people that just go to the studio and don't battle. The hip hop that I fell in love with, the rappers did all of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's why you respected a rapper a little different because it was kind of like the same energy of like when a boxer walk in the room or a UFC fighter or something. You know what I mean? Because it was like a discipline. You were like, all right, I respect their discipline. I know they could do all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Everybody can't do it. That's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So battling was just, I'd battle in high school and shit like that, and here
Oh,
and
you was
there.
at
It's
the
like,
lunch table? You before
yeah,
you okay, okay,
I,
down
I
there.
didn't I didn't I didn't even show people I rapped until like eighth grade. I started in like what fourth grade, third grade, something like that. But I'm the only Sikh, you know what I mean? I'm the only kid
Yeah.
with a turban around, so I was like, I don't know if like I'm gonna get received the best, right?
Yeah.
But then I started like showing my boys around like seventh grade, whatever, and they kept saying like, "Yo, you crazy, bro? Like rap in front of people." And then it was funny because like if somebody said they rap, people would usually just be like, "All right, let me hear something." But every
Mm-hmm.
time I said I rap, it was always like a, "Yeah, right." You know what
Right.
I mean? Like it was always that. So like I always felt like I had to prove myself, and that's another reason I kind of like went towards battle rap because it's like all my shit would have punchlines in it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I gotta prove I'm nice. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's how I used to write a lot. So and I was watching battle rap since like Gin and Verse. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what is that? '04 something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I've been doing that shit. And then my first on-camera battle was on UW in 2015. I think I just turned 20, and I was just like, yo, let me just. There was a tournament, you know what I mean? And I was on UW, and it was in Jersey. It was right there. I was like, let me try it, and I ended up winning that. You know what I mean?
Okay, because
And
I was
then
gonna ask you, did you
yeah,
find UW or did Arsenal find you? Because you like a needle in a haystack, for
yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Nah, Ars did it. So they had somebody there, L Wisdom, shout out to him. And he was like a talent scout. And I think like a they posted like a flyer on Instagram or something like that. And it was like tag people you think would be good at battling. And at the time, like if I'm being honest, I wasn't even doing what I was supposed to do with rap. Like I was just recording shit and showing my boys and you know what I mean? Like I wasn't out there like I should have been. I wasn't trying. And I think I got tagged in that by some people, and I was like, you know what? I got to start doing something with this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can't just keep just making songs for the homies. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta like go somewhere with this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that was kind of like the first push I think I got to like actually see if this could. I watch this shit all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was like. And yeah, I rapped all the time, wrote all the time. So yeah, I found it. I got tagged in it, and then I just joined. I didn't even meet Ars until I think the second or third event or something like that. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
really? I never
Yeah,
knew
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure a lot of people, that's their first time really kind of hearing that because I didn't even know that. And I do my homework now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I wrote down some of your biggest battles, right?
Okay.
And throughout the years, we watch them as they drop and as the pay-per-views and as the cards are happening, right? But
Yeah.
when I was sitting down, really going over your resume,
Hmm.
I'm like, I did not realize he has so many like top tiers and God tiers in such
Yes.
short time because we
Yeah.
just moving and moving. Battle rap just keep moving.
Yeah.
You have I'm gonna run some of them, okay, for the people.
Yeah.
Just for some of them, anybody that may not be familiar. You just battled Ilmac,
Hmm.
right? You have Rum Nitty, Charlie Clips, Chilla Jones, Disaster, New
Hmm.
Jersey Twerk, Rest in Peace, Paste.
Yeah.
Not everybody has Paste on their resume.
I know.
Yeah. Cole J, UK,
Yeah.
that's a big battle. A Ward, Loso, DNA, K Shine, B Magic, Arsenal,
Hmm.
Fonz, Jada
Yeah.
Nightwing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're insane.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
insane.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like, I don't really talk a lot of shit, you know what I mean? But that's what I do it for. I do it for, battling the people that I'm a fan of. You know what I mean? Like any of them battles that I got, I mean, even the place I got to now, like it's strictly off work. I'm
Yeah.
never in no drama. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm barely in the spaces. I'm trying to be in the spaces more because I know, you know, people is always in the spaces and shit. And you always on spaces too.
You
You know
know
what I mean? So I'm like, yeah,
that.
I should, but yeah, I'm never talking a whole lot of shit. You know what I mean? I kind of just let the work speak for itself because I feel like, that's the shit that matters the most. You know what I mean? Like even when you got a battle coming up, like all the promo for the battle and the face off for the battle, like none of that gets remembered. The shit that exists forever is the battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if your face off or the promo is more memorable than the battle, then you didn't do your job. You know what I mean? So um as far as like the resume goes, yeah, I got to battle like almost everybody that I want to battle. You know what I mean? Like the fact I got Pat on my resume is crazy. Rest in peace to
Yes.
my dog. Disaster was one of my favorites. Shine was one of my favorites. I wish I could have gave Shine a better battle, but Twerk and Nitty,
Yeah.
there's some of my favorites. Like Ilmac with like I got to battle everybody. You know what I mean? Arsenal, like
And you
so
still have more to go too. That's what's
yeah,
crazy. Like
for
you still
sure. But
got a lot of people. I would want to see like you and Hollow.
right,
As
yeah, yeah, that would be crazy. But yeah, like I feel like I still got more to do, but this is 5 years in of me taking this shit seriously. You know what I mean? Like so not to go back a little, but like so I joined the tournament, right?
mm-hmm.
But I would only battle like once or twice a year. Like I wasn't again
Outside
battling a whole
inside.
lot.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to, but I had a lot of no shows in the beginning of my career. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I would have my 3 rounds and then nothing would happen. So then that's discouraging too, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
by like 2019, Lex Luthor hit me up for my battle. And then he was like, and I know UW was kind of like they didn't know what they were doing at the time and shit. So he was like, yo, why ain't you popping yet? And
Yeah.
then I was like, I don't know. And then he was like, yo, I got a plan for you. Do a 1 rounder. You do good, we'll give you a 3 rounder, and then we'll give you a name. And that's kind of like how it went. And then I ended up battling Excel. And me and Excel is the shit that
On
got me
our
the
battle.
URL call. Yeah, on our
Yeah, I
battle.
remember
And
seeing
that got me the URL call for Ultimate Madness. Well, Ultimate Madness was later, but that's what I got my first URL battle from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is when I started taking it serious because I was like, oh shit, this is going
Just get
somewhere.
real.
Yeah. So I was like, I gotta start, you know what I mean, clipping up and getting ready for shit like that. So that was 2020 for real, that Ultimate Madness shit when I started taking it serious. You know what I mean? And from then to now, like the fact I got to battle all those people, I got to do a Summer Madness. This is my third Gnome I'm about to do. Like I've been on Volume. I got to do Blackout on King of the Dot, you know what I mean? And Mass, like I got to battle in London. Like all that shit is crazy to me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So, okay, you brought up Nitty. I remember Nitty said in the interview after y'all battle, he said that he was the most nervous to
Mm-hmm.
battle. Like, you were the person that made him most nervous to battle going
Mm-hmm.
into a battle. He said he never felt that nervous before. What
Yeah.
you think about that? Have you seen
Yeah.
that interview
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. I seen that. Shout out to Nitty. I think he told me that too. But I think I mean it's high praise, you know what I mean? Like I remember like I think when I battled A Ward, he tweeted because he was there front row, and he
Yeah.
tweeted something like yo, I wish I could rhyme like sick or something like that. You know what I mean? So he always showed respect. And then, me and Nitty did that on short prep. Like we didn't have a whole lot of prep, but we still made it battle of the night that night. But I
Yeah, I
think
didn't know y'all didn't have a lot of prep for that battle.
yeah. It was a lot going on at the time, but we still made it happen. But yeah, no, I think I mean it's the same way. You know what I mean? Like Nitty's one of the ones, but the fact that I could make my opponents feel like that, that's high
Mhm.
respect. I just seen him like when he was in Houston before he battled Daylight, and he was just saying like, "Yo, this you a scary motherfucker." You know what I mean? So like, I all of that is crazy to hear from people like Nitty, and then even like for Rock, like I seen him tweet like this the first time he feels or he ain't felt threatened in a while or something like that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Because like it's a gift because it's respect, and it's like all right, I'm stamping my legacy and my me as a battle rapper. You know what I mean? But it's a
Yeah.
curse now because now they're gonna be trying to take my head off. You know what I'm saying? Like so now I can't take any. That's why I never take any days off because I'm like if I'm battling somebody, like I know they're gonna try to kill me.
You
You know what I
better
mean?
know it.
Yeah.
I
So
be I be in them spaces fighting for you now. You've been doing good.
appreciate it.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Certain ones of y'all my favorites now. I place bets on y'all, and I was
Yeah.
telling Jazz that too. Like I'm guaranteed to get something out of it. Like I'm either gonna
Yeah.
get a good battle where it's rewatchable, a win
Yeah.
I can brag about, or some
Yeah.
money from a little bet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
For
place my
sure.
money on y'all.
Got you. I appreciate it.
No, Okay, so Jersey, right?
Hmm.
Y'all have, I think y'all one of the y'all are one of the craziest states, right?
Hell yeah.
Um, or should I say, you know what I mean? But either way,
Nah, we the craziest state for sure. You could
I
say it. You could say it.
don't
I
want
don't
to
think
hear.
or you could take 5 or 6 of us and put us against any other six.
And
I
that's
think
what
I
I was
think we
gonna
winning.
ask you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with y'all, if y'all were ever to do like a verses, right?
Yeah.
Yourself
Yeah.
included, of course.
Uh-huh.
What's like 5 of y'all that you would grab, and what other region? You don't have to say other names if you don't want to, but what other like area or state or whatever would you put y'all up against that got like some of the craziest?
Yeah, I think well, do I get to use surf? Free surf. Do I get to
Absolutely,
all
free
right,
wave,
cool. There
absolutely.
we go. Free to wave. Yeah. So we got surf, we
Mm-hmm.
got twerk, we got arse, you know what I mean? We got shug, and then you could throw me in there and over.
You,
Yeah, me and come on, like that's a
yeah,
crazy
that's
six.
a crazy
You know
ass
what I mean?
lineup.
Yeah. But I think and then shout out to Sirius Jones, Dre Dennis, like everybody
Yeah,
else from Jersey too. I think I mean Harlem got a crazy lineup, right? They got Mook Lux, Shine, Clips, like they got a crazy lineup. I think the West Coast got a crazy lineup too. Um, they got Geechee, Nitty, Disaster. Like they could probably have some people. Ilmac, the Source, we could get some of them passed. Like they got a diverse selection over there
they
too. You know what I
do.
mean? But I think as far as the state goes, like I mean, maybe like New York would be crazy. West Coast would be crazy too. You know what I'm saying? But like, I guess if we're saying Cali, then we can't use Nitty, can't
Right.
use Ilmac. So like, if we talking state for state, I'm thinking New York would be like the toughest one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any. I think that's St. Louis got some good, Magic, Verb, Holla. They got some good people there too. But nah, I mean, Jersey's the best to me.
Yeah, I know
You
you
know
was.
what I mean?
I
Like,
was waiting for it. I'm like, yeah.
yeah, I'm
New
just
York,
going through it because. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think New York probably is like the ones y'all
Yeah.
have to go against. Mook,
Hell
Lux,
yeah.
Rex, all of them.
They
So
got yeah.
speaking of them, hit list.
All right. So it's weird because I had this hit list for the longest time, and now I'm finally at the end of it. You know what I mean? With this rock battle. Like
Yeah,
I had said I wanted to battle Twerk and Nitty and uh Tay Roc and Ilmac. Like I had them on my list, you know what I mean? And now
yeah.
I'm at like the end of it now. So I gotta make a new hit list, right? So my new shit is I think me and Chess would be a goodie. If
Oh
Chess shows up the way like I'm a fan of him, you know what I mean? Like that would be crazy. I want to battle Ill Will. Ill Will went crazy,
man,
versus Jay.
with Jay the
And I think
Nightwing, yeah,
yeah, and I had to follow that. You know what I mean? Me and Ilmac was right after that.
yep,
So I think that battle would be crazy. Um, let's see who else. I think low key, like me and Calico might be a crazy battle. Like
I
the way
think
we
y'all would
rap.
too.
Yeah, the way we rap, like we kind of just rap all the way through. It's dope. I got to chop it up with him on I think that was Ultimate Madness 2. Um
When he was
like
judging,
when or yeah, or five, I forget the number of the Ultimate Madness, but yeah, when he was judging, he kept saying like, yo, I like the way Sikh rap because that's what I do. That's what he
yep,
kept saying. So that's why I think that style clash would be fire. Um so what I say, Chess, Ill Will, uh
Cal,
Cal. I think me and Easy got to see each other because we the two from the Ultimate Madness 1 class.
that is true.
That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like we the two that kind of we got the best resumes. There was a time when we first got there that me and him, every time he would do something, then I would do something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah,
he battled Cortez. I think that was the first rookies versus vets shit. And then I battled Chilla. Then he
mhm,
battled Danny, I battled Magic. He battled T Top, I battled Mike P. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Then he battled Rex, I had Danny. Like it was like a whole cycle that was just back and forth between us. And then, when he left the league and shit probably changed. But I think it would be a dope conversation as the two people in our class that, you know, you could say just by looking at our resume, you can have your favorites, but I
Yeah.
think just looking at our resume, it's clear we're the two probably most successful from
y'all
that
still
class.
y'all still align in y'all careers where it makes
Yeah,
sense for a battle for y'all to happen basically. I
yeah,
do it and I never thought about that. That's crazy. I do agree
yeah,
with that though.
yeah. So it's like, our class is still doing numbers, you know what I mean? Swamp is crazy.
Yeah,
Like Jay is going crazy. Lou and Chef, they just battled. That was crazy.
yeah,
Fonz is going, you know what I mean? Like we still got some that are in there like going off, you know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of my class too. But I mean like
yeah.
that would be a dope one. And then just from like a rapping stand, like people talk about me and Pass battling each other a lot. So I feel like that's probably the fifth. You know what I mean? If I
Yeah.
if I had to name five people, that's probably what I think would be next.
Top
Chess, Ill
five.
Will, Cal, Easy, and Pass. I
Okay.
think that's a
I ain't
good
mad at
good
that.
one.
You a pass would be dope too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wasn't a fan with his twerk performance and then he came back and that was the pass that we
Yeah,
got versus Eunice, and
yeah,
Eunice did good in that battle too. But yeah, so I could
yeah,
definitely see that being a matchup, especially on TBL. I think
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
for sure.
For sure. Yeah. I want that version of Pass. You know what I mean?
Next up, you have Tay Roc.
Yeah.
No, oh no,
Unknown in New
no
York.
15 in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
big stage. You're
Final,
not
final.
unfamiliar with big stages, but
Yeah, I know, but I know that's a narrative for some reason. I think it's because my first like and probably only clear loss was on a big stage with Sean. So like I think people because of that, that's why the narrative is there, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
they forgot. I mean, me and Twerk, that was a stage and that had like I think maybe 100 or 200 less than what's going to be at the Gramercy. You know what I mean? Like, so it was still a crowd that I controlled, you know what I mean? And then me and Diz was like a bigger crowd than what's going to be at the
Yeah.
Gramercy. You know what I mean? And that was the fact that he could like self-destruct the way he did, and I still controlled the energy of the battle.
Yeah.
Like that
That's
showed
true.
stage presence. You know what I mean? He was nuking the battle. Like he was getting booed. Like, yo, like, you know how hard it is trying to wake up a crowd after they just booed for 6 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole nother set of skills that you gotta have. And if you're not comfortable on the stage, then the whole battle's, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
not gonna be good. So the fact that that's happening with him, and then I gotta wake the crowd back up and show them that, there's still a professional on stage and I got y'all and all that, you know what I mean? Like that's a whole different skill. So it's kind of a gift and a curse again, you know what I mean? To where it's like I hope the more people that think I don't know what I'm doing, the
Yeah.
more people are gonna be shocked at no. You know what I'm saying? So like I'll let the narrative be what it is. But yeah, I love battling on the stage. I love seeing the fans. I love the fact that this is my first East Coast battle on URL. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm from Jersey, I'm from out here. Like I've been to the homecomings, and I was always like, bro, I can't wait to battle in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm
And then now
battling
it's
Rock.
happening against the logo.
Yeah, yeah. I think his last battle in New York was Hollow the Dawn, maybe. I think that's the last time he battled like on a stage in New York. So like, unless I'm mistaken, I'll check it. I'm checking the resume. I'm going through it. You know what I mean? But yeah. So like, and he's returning to New York, and he made his career in New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said this before. I said I'm this like battling the devil in hell. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like I'm battling him. Like yeah, I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Jersey, but Rock laid a lot of groundwork over here. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like, I'm I know what I'm up against. I'm treating this like my biggest battle. You know what I mean? I think it is with the situation and who I'm battling. And I think the reaction from the culture when the shit got announced is the thing that's really exciting me. You know what I mean? Like a couple years ago, maybe it would have been all favorite to Rock. You know what I mean? But now it's dope when I'm seeing it, and that now, people are like, yo, this battle's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing Sikh 2-1, Rock 2-1. Then I'm
Yeah.
seeing, like I'm seeing all of that. I'm seeing Battle of the Night, Battle of the Year. I'm seeing shit like that more than I'm seeing anybody saying, like one of us is clearly gonna win, which
Yeah.
is good
I think
because
everybody just excited for the battle overall
yeah,
because y'all have been rapping, man. Y'all
yeah,
have
yeah,
been rapping like, and you don't have losses like that. Like you either have like
yeah,
classics where it's great rewatchables, and even when you win, it's great rewatchables. But or you
right.
clearly win the battle for real.
For sure. Yeah. That's why I said I feel like I got one clear loss, and that's Sean. And there was a whole bunch of shit going into that bet. Like I had 7 days for it, a short prep.
Yeah,
It
I
was it
remember
was
the
it
controversy around that.
was a whole lot of shit. Yeah. But I mean that none of that matters, you know what I mean? Sean is Sean. He's one of my favorites. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I would have had to stood in front of that regardless. It's on me. I accepted the battle. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I think yeah, so I think I mean, and since then, I think my only real debatable was Twerk, and then maybe Nitty, because I think Nitty got that second, but I think I got the first and third with Nitty pretty clear. But other than that, I feel like I've been clearly winning, and that means this July that'll be 3 years that I've been going crazy like that. So this is dope. This is dope because it's kind of like all the work that I put in that meantime. Now it's all
yeah,
leading up to this moment. You know what I
hmm
mean? And then on top of that, I think it's a testament to our consistency. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Rock been consistent. He always consistent. When I get announced on the cards, you're gonna get 3 rounds of just explosiveness. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So like yeah. So I'm super hyped seeing the reaction of the culture when the shit got announced. You know what I mean?
A lot of us will be in the building for that. I gotta see
Good.
that live. No,
Yeah.
no way. I
Hell
cannot.
yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be crazy. And it's dope to see how motivated he is for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
So
can tell he is too. He said he was,
yeah.
I forgot what tweet he made about you, but it was something like he's like locked in, like in the dungeon, like
Yeah.
ourselves.
He said because he did it on Instagram too, and he said I'm up. late nights, early mornings, like it's good to feel threatened again or something like that, right? And I commented, I was like, yo, I'm on that same type of time. And then Rock was like, yo, this is like haymaker versus haymaker, flow versus flow. And
Yeah.
then he said something like this one of them ones. So I was like, I can't let him down. You know what I mean? I can't let the fans down. I can't let New York down. I'm finally battling on the East Coast. Like this is gonna be I'm the most motivated I've probably ever been for a battle. You know what I mean? And we had a good amount of time for it, so it's it's gonna be crazy.
Fully prepared
Yeah,
for both
yeah,
sides. Do you think y'all may end up being a battle of the year contender?
yeah.
I
Pretty
think
it's
so.
pretty it's pretty I mean it's leaning towards that way. This shit's gonna be a bloodbath, bro. Like I already know, like I'm gonna be in there like, bro, I'm glad like I know I gotta make my rounds what they are. Like I know what I gotta do. Like free surf. I seen monsters before. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like I know what to do now. You know what I mean? I think a big reason in the beginning of my career I had a lot of, you know, like I either had clear wins or debatables. The debatables were coming when I would battle like a vet who knew what they were doing,
yeah,
right? So they might have maybe edged the battle or something like that. And that's because in the beginning I was just trying to rap better than everybody. And then you got to learn that there's a difference. You got to learn how to win a battle. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like rather than just rap better. So like, for example, like Lux, I don't think there's anybody he battled that rapped better than him. You know what I mean? But he got losses. So
yeah,
that means that shit like that is a good example of just out rapping your opponent ain't enough. There's a whole bunch of other intangibles that go into it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think I got a good grad. I mean, this is the best I ever been. You know what I mean? So this is the perfect time, I think, for me to battle Rock. You know what I mean? Who's
Yeah.
also, Rock is near the end of his career. He's not going to be battling forever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm hoping to give a battle that would also make the fans comfortable of like, all right, if Rock leaves or if some of these vets leave, like people like Sikh could take it from here. You know what I mean?
I
So
think that's what's going on right now. I
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah,
I think so. And the way your battle's going, the way your career is going, your resume,
yeah.
everything, I see you ended up being one of the God tiers. Like you well
Hopefully,
on your
yeah,
way to being a God tier category.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
what advice would you give? So as one of the very few battlers, you got here to this point in your career without any controversy, any
Yeah,
drama, the most we ever seen was the stuff of what K Shine battle. You know what I'm saying? And even that wasn't
right.
like, that wasn't really
Yeah.
nothing. What advice would you give to any of the newer guys like coming up in battle rap to like, I know everybody path is different, but what advice would you give
Yeah.
them to just focus on what they're doing and try to get to where you're at in your career,
I
basically?
mean, the advice, as cliche as it is just be yourself. You know what I mean? Because like the if I was somebody that was always, turning up and rowdy and arguing and all that kind of stuff, then that's who I would be. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? But I'm a very like I like to be like a, humble, calm but dangerous kind of dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like when it comes to battling, you know what I'm saying? So like, and I only turn up when I need to. Uh, and that's me. So I'm not gonna try to do something different. The
yeah.
closest I've been to that in like a face off was Fonz pissed me off when we did
Oh yeah,
when we had our face off, and that I feel like that was like the first time where I actually and I was jet lagged, like I gotten off my flight. It was just a mix of a whole bunch of shit. But I mean, like that's the closest I think that, and it's weird because like the fans was like, yeah, sit, yeah, talk your shit. But like again, I'm only gonna be me. Like
yeah,
I got to where I got to by being me. If I was being somebody different, I mean, even my name, like real sick, my
yeah,
identity being in my name is me being my most authentic self. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like that's what I would say to the newer battle rappers. Because look, when you knew if you in Eunice position or anybody in the top six or whatever, like you brand new and you looking to get pushed, you're gonna get a lot of pressure from people to, oh, you gotta promote or you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta start an argument, you don't gotta do none of that. Just stay to yourself and then like and be yourself. And then you also got to see like what you want. What do you want in the game? You want to be popping for 6 months and then it goes down, or do you want
Right.
longevity? You know what I mean? I think me being myself is the reason I have longevity. I'm half a decade in again to taking shit serious. You know what I mean? Like, so the next 5 years is going to be even crazier. You know what I mean? Like, and it's more and more success, and it's something I have control over because I'm just being me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I would definitely say to be yourself. And then another thing that happens with battle rappers is like battle rap could kill your creativity because like you battle rap is the only place where the shit you come up with is getting critiqued on the spot, like in front of you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you drop an album, you'll read in reviews on Twitter and Instagram
Right.
and shit like that. You might have a listening party or something like that. But in battle rap, word for word, you getting critiqued.
That's
You
true.
gonna know if people like your shit or not when you rap it, and if they react, if they don't react, if they
Yeah.
sound whatever. It's one of the only. So what that ends up doing to your creativity is like, all right, if I thought of this bar and I thought of 20 things that rhyme with it, you know what I mean? But it's in my mind, I'm saying this in front of a crowd and I'm gonna get critiqued. I'm gonna cut this shit down to 4 bars or 8 bars or something like that. You know what I mean? To where trimming the fat is a real thing when it comes to battles, but that's still a skill that you shouldn't just like abandon because battle rap is gonna, make you be like, I can't do
Mhm.
that or I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, one thing I always say is like I'm not one of them battle rappers that only write a rhyme when I got a battle coming up. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
would encourage all new battle rappers to do that. Don't only write when you locked in for something, because then you just training your brain to only be creative then. You know what I mean?
Right.
Write about your day. Write about, you know what I mean? Like you don't gotta show everybody everything you write. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just write and you'll become better at writing that way. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, those are some of the things I would say to newer up and coming battle rap.
That's
You know what I'm
so
saying?
dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. So, you are now a name for up and coming battlers.
for
You are.
sure.
You work to be a name. You're a name for them. Everybody
Yeah,
can't just get a real sick battle and things like that, right?
yeah,
So, are there any up and comers who you kind of like got your eye on? Like, I might have to smoke him one day if he keep playing like this. Like,
yeah, yeah. Like I started thinking about that because again, like, my first 5 years, I was just trying to do, get to like where I'm at with rock, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I was always thinking like, all right, by like 2026, I'll start battling some of the newer guys. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So and I did a little bit like on I battle because Lex
yeah,
got me is part of the reason I'm here too. You know what I mean? So anytime he got an up and comer, I battle him. But
yeah. You in
if we just
homeschool? I seen a few. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think I mean me and Eunice gotta happen next year.
I know
You know what I
that.
mean?
Oh my gosh, I'm be
Me
torn.
Yeah, me and Eunice gotta happen. He's crazy. I'm super proud of him on the path that he's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He got to know him. You know what I mean? And his first gnome is on a stage. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's one of them real tests for him. You know what I mean? But I think he's ready for it. So yeah, I'm super dope to see him go to where he's going. But yeah, I definitely got to battle him. Um,
Don't
Low
hurt my baby.
Supreme. I mean, Eunice makes me want to go crazy on him. You know what I mean? Because he's crazy. I can't. He's another one of them that has a good trajectory. You can't sleep on him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Low Supreme is crazy. Um, him and Appa just had a crazy battle. Appa
yeah,
would be a crazy up and coming to battle too. Um, and I'm trying to think if there's like anybody else that like I really really want to battle. Those are the three new guys that are coming to mind right now. Um, I don't know, but again, I'm new to thinking in this mindset of like who's
right.
newer for me to battle because I've always been trying to battle like vets and the legends and shit
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? So those are the three that come to mind right now. But You never know.
It's okay. Make the rest of them work for it. They all don't deserve you now, Protein Papi. So we won't be
Right.
sitting here just naming all of them anyway. They
Yeah.
got to work for
Right.
a Protein Papi battle now.
For
Um.
sure.
So, what did you feel like was your breakout performance in battle rap? Like, what battle do you feel like made people like really, really pay attention to you?
It's crazy because I got a couple of the moments I feel like
Okay.
to where it's like, all right, when I was in our battle, my breakout battle was my one rounder with Excel because that shit got me to URL, right? Then when me and Jay battled, we're the first live battle during COVID. So everybody's at home. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we kicked off that whole era. You know what I mean? And it was like we didn't know what was happening at the time, but when you look back at it, it's kind of like that was the start of introducing what this era of no crowds and the COVID battles basically are gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was like a career shifting battle for me too. And it's like, the demand after that battle for me, because like, me and Jay got it on a split decision.
Mm-hmm.
But then seeing like the comments being like, yo, bring Sikh back, bring Sikh, you know what I mean? Like, and then
Yeah.
me and Kid Chaos had another one like 2 weeks later. That was crazy. But like those battles kind of being the beginning of that era, I think when we look back at that era, is like, all right, that's defining too. You know what I mean? And then Chilla Jones was my first like vet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like that battle was career defining in that way too. Because it's like, all right, now we know he could battle with the vets. And then Mike P was my first main event. That's the first time I main evented something. And that was my fifth battle on URL. So the fact they was already putting me at the main event is like, all right, they seeing the potential. I got to live up to this.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact, before people was talking all this shit about, oh, this ain't a main event, this ain't a main, and then we had one of the best battles that year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then my next, like, so those are like the beginning parts, right? And then I think, Danny on Gnome was a crazy thing to happen, you know what I mean? Because that's when I seen a lot of celebrities start talking about me and shit after that. You know what I mean? Like Joe Budden, shout out to him. Lloyd Banks said something,
Yeah.
Ransom, like there was a whole bunch of, I feel like I think that's the first battle like Mook and Lux saw from me and shit like that, you know what I mean? So
That's the battle I think personally was your like where everybody like, all right, we gotta watch him for real. Like,
yeah.
but
I
Danny was
think,
on a run too when you stopped.
yeah. So that's definitely one of the most important ones because he was 15-0 with rounds. Like he was on a
Exactly.
round streak. Like he wasn't losing anything. And he had just battled Suge, I think 7 days before. You know what I mean? And got the win with him. And I was like, damn, like I gotta like this is who I'm battling. Like I gotta stop this streak, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then my other battles was all, Arsenal was crazy. Av was a good test because that was the first time on a stage. The Pat Stay battle was a big battle. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was like career defining in the sense of like, the Pat Stay battle was on Drake's birthday card. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're all getting the word that he specifically chose all these
Yeah.
battles. So now I'm like, all right, I know. Like after my Arse battle, Smack had showed me like a text from Drake or something like, yo, this Sick kid is crazy or something. So I knew he knew. So then when he booked me for that shit, I was like, now
Whoa.
it's even crazier. Now his name is involved in this, so this shit is going. So that was a big battle for me. We kicked off the whole night. And then my next career defining moment, I think, was probably my twerk battle
Yeah.
because it was right after my first loss. You know what I mean? Like clear loss. It was right after, my first like year and a half on URL. I was battling whoever they gave me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't realize it at the time, but battle rap was becoming more like a job to
Yeah.
where it's like, all right, you get your contract, you get your first half, you happy with that. Your money's up from last time. So now you're just writing your 3 rounds. You show up to the battle event and it feels like an event instead of a battle because
Right.
the fans is around the corner. People are asking you for pictures. You know what I mean? Everybody's happy to see you. You do your thing on stage and you get your second half.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And it didn't feel like a competition. You know what I mean? Because it just kept happening over and over the same way. My
Autopilot.
opponent got bigger, my money went up, all of that. So I wasn't getting any incentive of oh yeah, this is a competition. I
Yeah.
needed that reminder. You know what I mean? So when I battled Sean, it was another one of them that I was like, I didn't have a lot of prep, whatever, but I was like, oh, I do this all the time. But that was not the time to do it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then after my first loss of that, I was like, yo, I realized it was getting repetitive, and I was like, I gotta fall in love with this shit again. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
took some time off. That's when I started making this project that I'm putting out and shit. And I'm back in the studio, I'm writing, I'm just falling in love with rap again. You know what I mean? And then when the twerk battle happened, I was like, all right, this is to show like my spot didn't go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
still on that trajectory. I'm not gonna battle a bunch of people from the crucible and build my way back up. Like I'm just
Yeah.
going right to battling one of the best of all time, Twerk. He's gonna be on 100 versus me. And if I show, you know, that I belong up there, like I'm right back to where I need to be. You know what I mean? And
That
then
you gonna have to do the twerk hands to tell them you were.
and you
That's
allowed.
one of my
Yeah,
favorite battles. Both from
yeah,
both
yeah,
like both sides. Like that's another one
yeah.
of my favorite battlers. I don't usually like even seeing y'all go against each other. I love that. That is probably my favorite battle from you.
Yeah. And that's the last time somebody rapped longer than me too. I ain't let nobody after that. I was like, I ain't sticking to no time limits no more, man. Like that shit happened to me 3, 4 times in my career where I stuck to the time limit and then my opponent rapped longer. I'm like, all right, fuck this shit. This
Now
shit
do
don't
you
happen
just
in the
keep a
big
little
league.
extra in the tuck anyway? Like just
I mean,
make
yeah, I got extras in the tuck, but I also it's kind of like when you battling people that are like when the battles are this magnitude, you know what I mean? Like if the crowd ain't bored, you know what I mean? You could keep going. Like for
yeah.
example, me and Ilmac wasn't no 90-second round battle. It
No, it
wasn't
was
even booked for that. Yeah, it wasn't even booked for that. We knew, when we were talking to Chilla and he was booking it and shit, we're like, these are gonna be 4 minute, 5 minute rounds. You know what I mean?
not.
Like because he writes a lot, I'm not gonna let him outright me. You know what I mean? But when you're watching my rounds, some of my biggest reactions, like my biggest reaction in the first is in the last minute of my first.
Yeah,
That means I got them listening the whole time, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
then I did that pat on the back bar, right? In the Special Olympics bar or whatever. And then in my second round long too, but they repeating the bars with me the whole time, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like I write till I'm finished making a point, you know what I mean? And then
yeah,
like I do trim the fat. Like some of these schemes that y'all hear was way longer. You know what I mean? And I ended up just
right.
it's that shit I was talking about earlier, right? So where you're like, all right, I'm not just gonna be rapping this shit like a verse the whole time. Like I'm still entertaining the fans or whatever,
Yeah,
right? But yeah, so I write till I'm finished, but I still keep in mind, I gotta entertain people. You know what I mean? The
yeah,
only time I purposefully wrote less was Disaster because I'm like, all right, we're on a stage. He's gonna have 6 minute rounds. The crowd's gonna get tired. You know what I mean? That's not for a stage. You know what I mean? And as weird as it is, because Diz is a legend, but it's like it seems like with the stage, especially on URL, he didn't really know what to do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I was like, I'm gonna win this
yeah. He
battle
ain't
by
know what to
being
do. All right, you right about that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I was like, I'm gonna win this battle by being concise. So I just made my rounds 230s, 230, 230. So now when he's doing a 6 minute round, like it's not working. So like that's when it could work in your favor. But other than that, like Rock is gonna unload a clip, bro. So I can't like I can't sit there and just let him do that. You know what I'm saying?
no, yeah,
So
you can't take.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't. I'm rooting for you. That's a
yeah.
dangerous fight, but I'm
Thank you.
rooting for you. You know that.
Definitely
Um,
dangerous.
I'm not gonna keep you all day. I will say, you don't really share too much personal things like that. You did share that
Yeah,
you recently got married. Shout out to Mrs. Protein Papi. Um,
yeah, yeah,
Protein Mommy. There we go.
yeah. I'm gonna tell her you said that. She's gonna love that.
They be like, you can't call him that. I be like, no, yes, I can. But Protein
Yeah,
Mommy, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
respect.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, for sure.
congratulations to you two as
Thank you,
well.
thank you. Yeah.
Anything that you would like the fans or supporters, anybody, league owners, media, anybody to know
Mm.
about this upcoming battle, Gnome 15 with The Rock? What can
With
we
The Roc.
with
You said The Roc.
The Roc?
Man, look, if you ever been a fan of mine, if you're a fan of battle rap, you're a fan of rock, you got to tune into this battle. This battle is going to be, like I said, a bloodbath. This battle is going to be hard to call on the first watch, probably. This battle is going to be fireworks. It's just going to be energy versus energy. You know what I mean? Like, this is a defining moment for me. I think this could end up being a defining moment in battle rap as
Mhm.
far as like, the old person, not old, but like the person who's been carrying it for a long time
Passing
and
of
he's
the torch.
battling somebody. It could be a passing of the torch kind of
Yeah.
battle. You know what I mean? Like, so, and then the whole card is crazy too. And like I said, the battles is what matters. So all the shit people might be talking or the doubts you might have or whatever, when this event happens, you're not gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
So, man, if you can't be in the building, get the pay-per-view. If you can't get the pay-per-view, get the app. You know what I'm saying? Like, get something. You gotta watch
Gotta
this
see
battle.
it. Yeah.
I think this is going to be a talked about battle for I mean, definitely for the rest of this year. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, I'm not taking nothing like this year. I got, this year is going to be another one of my best years. You know what I mean?
Might be a
Like,
little low key, a little Cody run. You keep it up now.
hey, I
Even if you
mean,
may not be going for it.
I
It's
got some shit.
sneakily.
I got some shit coming later this year too. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. I'm
Uh-uh.
focused. I'm locked in. The last thing I do want to tell everybody, I've been talking about my music for like the longest time, and I
Hmm.
never like, I finally got this good like situation with this label, you know what I mean? And I finally got my mix and masters back for this project that I've been working on. And the one thing I found out is how long it takes from finishing recording a project to getting ready to release it. You know what I mean? Like, as
Yeah.
a like when you're not on that side of the business and you're like, oh, I just finished recording my last shit, like let's put it out next month. It don't work like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it got to go through a whole bunch of different things. So I can't wait to announce all of that shit. It's gonna happen like probably soon after the rock battle. Um, I've been making music my whole life. You know what I mean? Battle, like I said earlier in this interview, like battle rapping was always a thing that I did like on the side. It just ended up being the thing I got popping from. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like, if you listen to my freestyles or something, you can see I
You're a
mean, even
real
if you
rapper.
watch my battles and the pockets I get into and all that, you're like, oh, he knows
He
how
a
to
real
rap on a
rapper.
beat. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I wanted to give the fans some kind of like project for them to, if you're a fan of my battles, you could still enjoy me over beats. Because I think that a lot of battle rappers, where they might go wrong is their battle rap persona is way different than them when they make music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of like throws people off that might be a fan of you rapping a certain kind of way, and then you
Mhm.
get on beats, and then the energy ain't the same and all that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so I think this is a good first transition project. It's like 8 songs, so it's like an EP. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
rapping over different kind of beats. Got different kind of songs, shit like that. I can't wait to share it. We're seeing the first cut for the first single this week, so that's gonna be crazy. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of big shit coming up with that as well. Like, I posted this on Instagram. Um, there was this artist, and he knew who I was or whatever. He's big in the Punjabi community, and he
Mhm.
like brought me out. And then the fans were over there were going crazy too. So I'm seeing, I could expand this shit
Yeah.
past just the regular fan base and where it is now. You know what I mean? So like, I'm definitely trying to like maximize all my potential. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Basically. So, uh, yeah, the project is crazy. It's mixed and mastered beautifully. Like, I can't wait to share that with everybody. The project is called Sick Thoughts. I'm looking to where it'll probably become like a series. You know what I mean? To where, like, after this I might do some collab projects, another album, whatever, whatever, and then do some Sick Thoughts too. You know what I mean? Like, and it
Yeah.
kind of gives the vibe of just every like versatility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't wait to share that project with everybody. Um, but yeah, that should be dropping in the summer.
I got like 3 more quick questions for you, and I'm gonna leave you
You're
alone.
good. You're good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So, one, everybody is asking where can they find your music at now?
Right now, I got so I had this project on streaming sites, but that shit was mad old, and I was like, I'm so much better at making music now, so I just took that shit down. That was from
Oh
like
my gosh, no!
2016.
You're supposed to
It
leave
was,
up the journey. Let them
maybe I
see where
will,
you started. That way you
but it,
started, and now you here. Let them see
I,
the journey.
I don't know. I like starting my journey from like where I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe I will later. You know what I mean? But uh, so right now I just got one freestyle up. It's called Out the Mud. It's on spot all streaming platforms.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I did a collab song with Big K and the artist from Canada. That's probably on streaming sites as well. And
Hmm.
then the song, my first album placement that I got is with an artist named Jazzy B. He's like the Snoop Dogg of my people, like in the sense of like every Indian knows who that is. You know what I mean? And
Right.
he saw my battle with Mike and wanted to collab after that. So we got a song called Divide and Rule. That
That's
been out.
dope. Getting a
Yeah,
collab, yeah, that's dope. Getting
yeah.
a collab after him seeing a battle, yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
so dope.
Yeah. So that's the shit I was working on with the Sean battle got announced. So now I'm like, all right, I gotta write this and write my rounds for Sean in 7 days.
Uh,
It was a whole mix, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that I'm happy that song's out. I got to perform it with him on stage
and what's the
a
name
couple
of it again?
times.
I'm so sorry.
The song is called Divide and Rule.
Okay.
He's singing in Punjabi, that's our language. You know what I mean? And we're basically just talking about the state, like how Sikhs get treated in India and shit like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like uh, we're always on the right side of justice. We're fighting against some of the oppression and shit that happens over there, right? Um, but yeah, so like that's kind of what the song is about.
Hmm.
Um, so those are the ones that are out right now. Other than that, my YouTube channel, Real Sick, it's just Real Sick. I got the original name. I ain't have to add no numbers or nothing. You know what I mean?
I'll tag
But
it in the description too. Matter of
yeah,
fact, yeah.
I went on like a 12-week run or something like that where I was dropping a freestyle every week. And it's just, me over beats. And that was my way of keeping the pen sharp and all of that too. Instead of
Hmm.
just randomly writing shit, I was like, I got so much shit. Let me just start recording it and putting it out. And also to kind of give people an idea of what it sounds like, what I sound like over beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And different tempos. Like the song you played ain't a regular 90 BPM kind of, you know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
battle rap tempo. It's like just showing versatility again, you know what I mean? So you could go check those out. And like I said, I'm gonna have a lot more music this summer. We're gonna be releasing it. And then actually there's one more thing. I got a song with my boy Nino Bless. Shout out to him. He's a legend if you don't know who he is.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Bless.
yeah, and I was on his album too. That was my second album placement. We got a song named Azad, which means freedom in my language. And we kind of, Nino Bless is a American rapper, but you
Yeah.
know, the shit that we talk about on that is fire. We did a video for that too, so that should be out soon. Um, it's dope because like I've been working on all this music and now it's finally getting to come out. So I got so much shit in the vault that I'm finally getting a release. You know what I mean?
Releasing,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I know that's
yeah.
fun. You could do like a EP release party or album release party, something small, something
I
cute.
was talking. I think I'm gonna do that. Like I was looking at spots in New York to do something
Yeah,
like
that'd
that.
be
You know what I mean?
dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'll let the fans know about it for sure. And shout out to everybody who's been asking for the music and listening to the freestyles and all of that shit too. So appreciate that.
So, I have been doing original music versus in spaces where you
Hmm.
guys like go against your peers with y'all original music verses. So we had T Top versus Official. They
Hmm.
ended up going into sudden death. The listeners and everybody that's there, they vote. We just put up a poll, they vote and things like that. We had Twerk versus Truthful. So whenever you are ready,
Yeah.
some of your peers are outside to do a music versus original
Hell
music.
yeah. I definitely want uh to increase my catalog a little more. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I said, I got like freestyles, and then like I said, this next joint is 8 songs, and I got a bunch more, like I said, in the tuck or whatever. But I definitely want to make sure they get finished because some of them we might send to somebody to do a feature verse on, et
Oh,
cetera,
okay.
et
Yeah.
cetera. You know what I'm saying? So like some of them are unfinished, but when I got a good 20, you know what I mean? I'm down. You know what I
You
mean?
do a 10 pack if you want to, but whenever you ready,
Got you.
let me know.
I got you. I'll let
I
you
got
know
people lined up. You could go
for
against.
sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Okay,
I
last
got
thing,
you.
and I promise I'm gonna leave you alone.
No, you
Let me
good.
get some predictions from you. Chess versus
All right.
Eunice. Who you got? I'm throwing you in the fire now, Protein Papi. You in the fire. Pick a
Chess and
side.
Eunice. Um, I mean, I think the way this battle goes is Eunice is gonna be impressive as hell. I think he's gonna move on to the next level, but it's
Right.
chess in New York. Like
Right.
I think it's gonna be chess 2-1. But I think Eunice is gonna ascend. You know what I mean? He's gonna
Yeah.
go up from this. Um, but I'm not gonna be surprised if Eunice ends up, winning. But if
That's
I gotta choose, if I'm betting on chess.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
T Top versus Miss Hustle.
This battle is such a crazy style clash. Like I don't think people are paying attention to like all these battles, the style clashes with
Yeah.
these battles is like insane. Miss Hustle's gonna be barking on him, and T Top is like he's like he could be laid back and kill you. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I feel like the I really like the diversity of styles on this card. If I
Yeah.
gotta pick, I say Hustle 2-1.
Okay.
Um, but T-Top is returning to New York, and he kind of laid a lot of groundwork over there too. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I'm not gonna be surprised if he wins. I think all these battles are like that. I don't know if there's any clear, like you're not gonna be surprised if one of the
If the
other
other
wins. You know what I
person
mean?
win,
Yeah,
yeah.
but if again,
Definitely
if I'm
think you win.
choosing, I say Hustle too.
Okay, okay, okay. Fonz versus John the Don.
Now, everybody in my class, I'm gonna choose my class. I got, I
Oh,
gotta, I gotta,
a
I
little
gotta do it.
biased. That's
But,
fine.
but, but it's not only bias. Like, I mean, look, John been sitting. John is a master at the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what to do up there. We seen him with Jack Boy. We seen him with Prep. Remember when he
Yeah,
battles like newer guys or whatever, but wavy. But Fonz is a little past that stage of being the new guy that's battling John. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like if you see Fonz and Suge on Summer Madness, you know what I mean? That was a big stage. That was
yeah.
a lot of people in the crowd, and Fonz went crazy there. You know what I mean? Fonz
Mhm.
is one of the best punchers. I think when it's all said and done, he's gonna be one of the best punchers ever. Um,
I
so I
agree.
think I think John might have like a crazy angle on him or something like that that might be crazy, but I think Fonz gonna get it 2-1. And John is incredible. You know what I mean? But Fonz 2-1 for sure.
I agree. Okay. Rum Nitty versus Jay the Nightwing. Now this
Mad, Mad King, bro.
Ah!
Mad King. Nah, this a test for Jay. Look, I'm happy for Jay's new found like he's getting a lot of recognition, and that's really dope to see. Because again, we started at the same time, like with the Ultimate Madness shit, right? So
Yeah,
like to see like O'Shea Jackson tweeting his shit. I seen Royce the 5'9" comment some shit like, "Yo, who is this?" Like,
Mad
he
King.
battled, yeah, Mad King, right? So he battled ever since he battled Mad Flex. I think he battled what Geechee, Sheed, Ill Will. Like
Him
he
and
been on
Sheik
a
and him and Ill Will just dropped two.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm real happy for Jay. And he found a new pocket. You know what I mean? Like he found a new reason to be inspired. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So um and then this ain't no walk in the park. You know what I
No,
mean? Like
it's an
it's
alien.
Nitty on a stage, and Nitty respects Jay, and you got mad names in your name. You got Jay, you got Knight, and you got Wayne. You know what I mean? And you
Which
gave him
nigga you
Mad
keep saying
King.
you got the?
Yeah, and he might flip and you don't even like. Yeah, like Nitty is I mean, some of the best sick flips. Like one of my favorite ones is the one he said real sick with the trimmers, like Muhammad
Man.
Ali or something like that is crazy. Like he's gonna say some crazy shit to him, but I think Jay's gonna get it 2-1.
Okay.
Jay has a way of wording stuff to where like it doesn't even have to be a punchline for it to get reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he just raps in that kind of way. So I don't know. I'm rooting for Jay. I'll say Jay 2-1.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. That one is tough. He's like low
Yeah.
key on a little sneaky Cody run too.
Hell yeah.
Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if he did it on purpose or if the stars just aligning this way for him, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this year he got what? He got Sheed, Will, and Rock.
Yep.
That's a crazy resume. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like so
Already.
far. And now Nitty,
Yeah.
that's that's
That's a
that's a
Cody
Cody
run.
run. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Cody run. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
and then we have Tay Roc versus Real Sick. No, I'm just saying.
Rock 3-0. Now look, I wouldn't all I could tell you about that is like I'm this is gonna be the best Sikh you ever saw.
Oh
You know what I
my
mean?
God, I love
So
when
like
y'all say things like that. I'm so excited.
I mean I'm sure it's gonna be one of the best rocks we ever saw too. But I'm yeah, I'm definitely ascending. I'm elevating with this battle. So you could bet on who you want to bet on, but I'm not. Yeah, I just say that.
I'm not losing, is what you
Yeah,
was gonna say.
yeah.
Okay, and last we have Geechee Gotti versus T-Rex. Just got announced as the last battle
Yeah.
main event.
There's gonna be a lot of conversations in that battle. You know what I mean? There's gonna be
It's
a
in
lot
New
of
York
talk in that
though.
battle. I
It's in
know, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like the talk in that battle is gonna be A1,
it
like
is.
top tier. You know what I mean? Like drug talk, gang talk. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a gritty ass battle. Because it's in New York and because I've seen, Rex went crazy with like bad news with Chilla, like Rex been going crazy. I
Yeah.
think I think Rex is gonna end this in New York. He gonna slam his hat every round and that's an automatic point. You know what I mean? Like I think Rex is gonna get it 2-1, but I think again, if Geechee gets it, it's not a surprise. Geechee been battling a lot, and I think Geechee probably got more stamina in the ring. You know what I mean? To where
Yeah.
his thirds is gonna be probably better than Rex's. Like his thirds are usually better than his opponents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like in the beginning it's gonna look like Rex is winning, but towards the end, Geechee might
Delta
be
ass.
running away with it. You know what I mean? But
Okay. I
yeah,
appreciate you, Protein Poppy.
anytime.
Tai had a question for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
She wanted to know about the farmers fight
Say
because
that
she knew
again.
it
You
was a
cut
big.
out.
She said the farmers fight. She wanted to ask you
Farmers
about
fight.
that. She know it was a big deal to you, and you were raising awareness about it. So if you could
Yeah.
just speak a little bit on that.
So I mean, basically, it was at its height in like 2021. You know what I mean? Like when I battled Mike, and it was basically like the government was trying to take shit away from farmers in India, and most of the farmers are sick in
Hmm.
India. You know what I mean? So like, it was a land dispute or whatever, and there's still some friction there, but I mean, there's a lot of other shit going on over there that's crazier. At the time.
Yeah.
When it comes to the farmer shit, it was like resolved for a little bit, and then kind of went back. So it's like the government over there is corrupt. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I mean, governments everywhere. Our
Right.
government ain't the greatest either. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, shit's crazy over there right now. But when it comes to that specifically, yeah, they had tried to resolve it and it didn't go. From what I know, like it looked like it was good, but then it kind of some other shit happened. So I'm not like an expert on the shit going on over there, right? But like so because of that, I don't try to like spread too many opinions about shit if I don't all
Yeah.
the way know, but I know what's right and wrong. You know what I mean? So whenever there's something like that, I could speak out against. You know what I mean? That's why it was important, especially at that time, because it
Yeah.
was like cutting the internet off and not showing any of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, and then I mean, you'll probably see me on Twitter. I talk a lot about the shit going on in Palestine and shit right now too.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
do
Because that's
talk a
like,
lot about
and
Palestine.
and Sudan. You know what I mean? Because like, anytime I got a platform, you know what I mean. So like, I feel like I should be spreading awareness about as much shit as I could,
Yeah.
especially if I'm invested in it. So you know, but yeah. So
Like if you
long-winded
got a
answer,
voice,
but
use it. No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
for sure, of
well, thank you so much, Protein Poppy. Real sick.
course,
I have you
yes.
2-1. I won't disrespect Rock, you know, but I do have you 2-1 going into your Battle Gnome weekend, and I'm excited to see you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate you. This is you're a really good interviewer, so keep it up. So it's dope that this is your second interview. You know what I mean? You're destined for good things.
I'm gonna have to clip that up.
Yeah, for sure.
You saying that my prayers are answered. So
yeah, for sure. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Bye.
Right. Peace.
So guys, Protein Papi was in a building today. You know what? I'm tired of containing myself about how excited I am. So I'm just every time wait till after they leave, and then I'm just let it. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of containing myself. I was so excited. Like I was so excited. Go Protein Papi. I'm excited. And make sure y'all go ahead when he when no disrespect to Rock, you know what I'm saying, but when Protein Papi even when he has this classic with Rock, let's say that, right? Even when he has this classic, make sure y'all tweeting, giving his support, okay? Stop playing. One of our upcoming God tiers. Make sure, listen, it's 600 plus in here, and I don't even have 600 on my actual YouTube. I need everybody to go ahead and go to the actual YouTube on my page and like and subscribe. Everybody that is on Twitter, come on down here to YouTube because we busting over here too. Come on down to YouTube, like and subscribe to Tea with Tati. Real Sick just said I'm a great interviewer. That's what he said. I'm just repeating what was told to me. Okay? I'm just repeating what was told to me. Hello? Don't play with me. Guys, I'm so excited. Make sure y'all liking this video. Make sure y'all are subscribed to Tea with Tati. I will put Protein Papi's Real Sick, as y'all know him. I will put his YouTube in the description. Make sure y'all go and follow him. Keep up with his music. His music is really dope. That's what I played in the intro. That's on the flyer. That was a song. It's called Cautious, but his music is dope. So we do gotta start supporting the battlers' music more, for real. We gotta support anything they do outside of battle rap. We just can't leave it in battle rap. So that's just what that is. I'm so excited, guys. Okay? I can't wait. I'm just about to pop my shit. Y'all heard what he said. Somebody clip it, please. Y'all heard what he said. Protein Papi, man. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I can't say that enough. I appreciate all the support, all the likes, all the retweets. It's only going up. Y'all wanted me to do media? I'm doing media. It's only going up. All right? I love y'all. Talk to y'all in the space. See what's happening? Yeah. Tati. See what's happening? Yeah. It's Tati. Big Chicago. You gon' love me or you hate me. Either way, you gon' be tuned in. Put the camera on the target and you know what's